Hey guys, I'm Megan Mitchell and I'm here in the Thrive Market Test Kitchen, and today I'm gonna show you a gluten-free and vegan chocolate cake recipe. And if you're wondering what Thrive Market is, it's an online market that sells non-GMO and organic products and basically everything in front of me straight to your door. All right, let's get started on this chocolate cake recipe. I am so excited. All right, I'm gonna do the dry ingredients first. I have 2 cups of gluten-free flour, and I have 1 cup of almond flour or almond meal. They're the same thing. But if you're like, wait, I only have almond meal, does that work? It does. Yes, sir, you betcha it does. And I have half of a cup of special dark cocoa powder, extra chocolatey. I'm adding chocolate through cocoa powder, through mini chocolate chips, and I'm making a chocolate frosting. It's all vegan, it's all gluten-free. 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then a teaspoon of espresso powder. I like to add espresso to my chocolate cakes or my chocolate pudding as well. I just think it enhances the flavor of the chocolate. I just like that. And then a pinch of fine sea salt. You can either whisk this together or use a fork. This is great maybe for Valentine's Day, or you're having an anniversary or a birthday and your friend happens to be vegan and gluten-free and they're always Judy Moody in the bummer summer because they don't get cake. Just make sure I'm getting all of this. Great, perfect, done. All right, to a stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can do this with a hand mixer, but I love me a stand mixer. I am doing 1 can of coconut milk. And there are different kinds of coconut milk. This is a bit of a looser one, more liquidy. There are ones that are separated that are really thick on top. You can do like a looser coconut milk for this one. Okay, half a cup of packed brown sugar. They ain't fooling, she packed. Half a cup of granulated sugar. Sugar always goes with your wet, even though you're like, wait, sugar is a dry ingredient, goes with your wet ingredients. 1/4 a cup of liquid coconut oil, not the coconut oil that is firm at room temperature and you melt. You want the liquid coconut oil. It's liquid at room temp. 1 teaspoon, oh man, I don't want to spill this guy. I feel like this is a tiny cup for dolls, a little soup cup. 1 teaspoon of distilled white vinegar, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I just want to mix this together to help melt down the sugars, combine everything before I add my dry ingredients. Start it on low. All right, slowly add in your dry ingredients, little by little. If you add it all at once, it can get stuck on the bottom. You can overwork your batter. We want this to be light and fluffy. Nobody wants a dense, vegan, gluten-free cake. You just want to mix this until you no longer see any flour. You don't want to overwork this batter. 3/4 cup of Enjoy Life mini chocolate chips. They're vegan. 1/3 of a cup. I want to mix these in by hand because I don't want to break them up at all. And I don't want to, once again, overwork my batter. Let's just give this a stir. All right, perfecto. I have 2 cake pans and they are 2 inches by 7 inches. I've sprayed them, I've lined them with parchment paper, and I've sprayed them again. I just want to ensure my cakes do not stick. There is nothing more frustrating than spending the time on baking a cake, the money on the ingredients, and then you can't get it out of the pan. It's never happened to me. I've never cried over a broken cake, ever. Whew. You want to evenly distribute the cake batter between these 2 pans. Make sure you get all of the batter out. My oven is preheated at 350 degrees. I'm gonna bake them on the middle rack for 25 minutes. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna spin them, rotate them, and bake for another 5 to 10 minutes. You want to insert a toothpick in the middle of the cake and it should come out clean, and that's when you know the cakes are ready. Be very careful, you don't wanna over bake gluten-free products because it's a real bummer. You don't want, these can dry out easily. 350 degrees, bake for 25 minutes, spin, and bake for 5 to 10 minutes more. While my cakes bake, I'm gonna make my ganache, which is the start of my frosting. So, small sauce pot on about medium, and I used coconut milk that was really thick, So when you grab a can of coconut milk, kind of shake it. If it's really loose and watery, you want one that when you shake it, it doesn't move. So I use Native Forest because it has a thick coconut cream top and the liquid's on the bottom. So I scoop out that top portion. I reserve the liquid, but I need this thick portion to start with my ganache. I hope that made sense. Oh, there we go. Add it to my pot, and I just want to melt it and bring it to a gentle simmer. And once it simmers, I'm gonna add in the remaining Enjoy Life chocolate chips from the bag. So I use 3/4 cup in my batter. I'm using the rest for my frosting. So you see that? Let's turn off the heat. I'm gonna add in my chips. Give it just a little stir so all of the chips are submerged. And then let this sit for a couple minutes, and then I'll whisk it up. You don't want to scald the bottom because it can make your chocolate bitter. It'll go quickly. Just want this smooth and creamy. All of the chocolate's melted just from the residual heat of the pot and the coconut milk. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for about an hour to firm up, and then I'm gonna make my frosting with it. My ganache has cooled for an hour. You can see it's firm. So the thing about the ganache and the cake, you can make the ganache the day before, you can make the cake the day before. I think gluten-free baked goods always taste best the next day. It gives time for the flavors to meld and to mellow, so make the cake a day in advance if you can. Make the ganache a day in advance if you can. I don't know. And especially if it's Valentine's Day, I don't want to be baking a cake on Valentine's Day, so I'm gonna plan the day ahead. So scoop out, you can see this ganache is firm. So scoop this out. She coming. All right, perfect. That's what you're looking for. All right, let's whip up the ganache before we add in the rest of our ingredients. You just want to break up the ganache, make it nice and fluffy. My ganache is whipped up. I'm gonna add 1 cup of powdered sugar. 1/4 cup of special dark cocoa powder, adding that again. Okay. More espresso powder, about 1/2 teaspoon. Pinch of fine sea salt. Really banging on this guy. And then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And remember that coconut milk mixture I told you about? We took the thick part, we made the ganache. This is the reserved liquid from the bottom of the can. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons at this point, but if it looks too thick for you, you can add another tablespoon or 2 more. It just depends how much you need to add to make it nice and fluffy and spreadable. So just start with 2 and then add more if you need it. Oh man, I hope this doesn't go. When I hit start on slow and low. Perfect. Good job. All right, this looks a little thick to me, so I'm gonna add 1 to 2 more tablespoons. Just keep an eye on it. You can always add, you can't take away. I want this nice, light, fluffy, and spreadable. Slowly. It smells so good. I just want to eat this with a spoon. If I could. I mean, it looks like proper whipped frosting. But no weird binders, no weird chemicals, no shortening. No butter. I mean, I love butter, but no butter in this one. Here, let me show you. This is what you're looking for. I'm gonna clean up, I'm gonna grab my cakes, and I'm gonna show you how this comes together. Alrighty. My cakes have cooled. I made them the day before because it tastes better the next day. But be careful, these are tender little angels, so you don't want them to break. Just go under one. Come here, sweetie. I have a cake stand, but you could do this on a plate if you wanted. But you're going big, why not put it on a cake stand? Okay. Half the frosting in the middle, and we'll spread it out. Oh man, this frosting looks so good. chocolate espresso. Okay. This looks so good. If you want it to be even crazier, you could make like a chocolate glaze, more Enjoy Life chocolate chips, a little coconut oil, and just drizzle it all over. Just saying. I didn't want to hit you with another step, but I wouldn't be mad if you did that. Okay. Now add the rest of the frosting on top. This is going to be naked around the sides. This is a naked cake. Come on. I'm going to save this for me later. Just to lick clean without you watching, not on camera. This is a rustic cake. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be a pastry chef to make a cake. I'm going to give this a try. Really good. Really good. So you can top this with berries if you want. You could do sprinkles if it's a birthday, candles, but I have some edible flowers. Put a couple in. However you want, you can sprinkle them on top. These are just decorative to make it look cute and pretty. And then you can take them out when you're ready. You can't eat them. They obviously are edible flowers, but no one wants, this person's gonna get a lot. And that's it. I'm quite pleased with myself. My vegan, gluten-free chocolate espresso cake. It's so pretty. I hope you make it. I hope you give it a try. You can find all the products that I use at thrivemarket.com/prepschool. Happy Valentine's Day, happy anniversary, happy birthday, happy cake day. Bye guys. Hi, I'm Meg Mitchell and welcome to Prep School. Today we're making a chocolate cake. I feel like Moe Shamden. It's Moe Shamden. Hey, all right.